Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5 and other stations across Liberia. Radio Gagela in Nimba County is relaying this program tonight. Radio Quatiket in Bonk is also relaying. Radio with a Gisi is in Lofo County is relaying. And of course, our Witness FM is relaying right here in Monrovia. We are live, streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and then you're going to follow the show. You share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow as well. We are also streaming live on Prime FM, Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prime FM Monrovia 105.5. Tonight promises to be very interesting. We promised you that's on Monday that we'll do part 2 of the national oration delivered by Reverend Emmett Dunn. So tonight, our guests will be joining us, including Councillor Kanyo Bagbara. He will be joining us tonight. Assistant Minister of Information Rufus will also be joining us. And also we'll have Oliver Weiser, a Liberian educator based in the UAE, will also be joining us. Joseph, that's Jacob Jala. Jacob will be joining us. And of course, hopefully, we'll have Commissioner Mohammed Fambul, head of the INHCR, that's the Independent National Human Rights Commission. You'll also be joining us right here on the program. But before then, as soon as my panelists arrive, Moses Sandy and George Kennedy will be talking about the National Prayer Day. We'll be hearing from you first to tell us whether you did pray for Liberia or you didn't pray. If I told you pray, I want to ask you, what was your prayer point? What did you pray about? I want to ask you tonight, following this program. Want to hear from you whether you were part of those who obeyed the national proclamation. Although there were some mixed reactions, there were some who said the president violated the Constitution. Some said no, he didn't violate. But that's behind us now. Did you pray or you didn't pray? We want to hear from you between now and 8:30 before we get into our discussion. We'll be right back after the same.
Let's start.
Okay, so we are starting now. I'm told that Moses Sandy is already on. Let's try to welcome Moses. And also, just to walk it in is George Kennedy, one of my panelists. Moses, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saba. It's a pleasure to be back. Mr. Kennedy, it's a pleasure to be here again this evening to team up with all of you. The people in Liberia, I want to say good evening, and it is a pleasure to be on your radio. Thank you.
Okay, thank you also. George?
Yes, as Mr. Sandy said, Mr. Sandy, good evening and welcome. And today is holiday, and so I know most of the Liberian people are home. They will be listening to us. It is our hope that we'll enjoy the program and then participate on this show tonight. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, that's good. So we wanted to share tonight's program. Wanted to share the show.
Yeah, thank you too.
Just tab where they have to search Nighttime Heat, and as soon as you do that, you're going to follow the show. We are streaming live on our Facebook page. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook page. We are also streaming live on our YouTube channel. Again, just tap nighttime heat. As soon as you do that, you subscribe and then you hit the notification bell so that anytime the show comes on, you receive the notification. We are also streaming live on the Pram FM Facebook page. That is Pram FM Morovia 105.5. This program is being relayed by Radio Gagema. That is the name of County, Radio Kwatika in Bonk, and of course, Radio Wuligisi in Low for County. And Witness FM in Morovia is also relaying this program. So between now and 8:30, we'll be trying to ask you whether you did pray or not. If you did, what were you praying for? What was your prayer point? What did you tell God to do for your country? Were you one of those who obeyed the proclamation? Although there were some misreactions. Some said the president violated the Constitution. Some said, well, he didn't. But that's beyond us now. Did you pray or you didn't pray? We'll be hearing from you later on. Very, very shortly. But let me ask my two panelists. Moses, I know you are on that side, but you are a Liberian before you became a naturalized American. Let's hear from you. Did you pray for your country?
Well, some I pray for my country every day.
Okay.
I have keen interest in Liberia. I live in a society where every second counts. So it is good for people to pray. It is good for people to praise the Lord. When we pray, we show gratitude. We acknowledge the kindness that the Lord does for us on a consistent basis. So I did not go to church today because I speak to you. You see me sitting in my vehicle. I am at work. I did not take time off to say, let me go pray for Liberia. It is good to pray. However, I have a concern. The concern that I have, Sober, is I know Thanksgiving, our fast and prayer day in Liberia, is usually in April of every year. So I was a little bit confused when I heard that President Bouaka declared today as fast and prayer day in Liberia. So I was wondering about what informed this action. Why did the president choose to make today a fast and prayer day in Liberia? What is the motive? What does he want to accomplish?
Okay.
Is it because it has been
Moses?
reported? Yes. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Moses.
You're coming from.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's hear from you. Yes. You want to speak. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, so quickly, let me just end this. I was wondering, did the president impulsively, declared that, oh, well, we shut the entire economy down today because we heard this news that the MCC is supposed to be
Moses.
Yes. Oh, are we having
Okay.
problems?
I think you have to adjust. You got to go over and come back. Yeah, Moses.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Go ahead
Do you hear
now.
me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry for the communication problem. So what I was saying is that when I heard that the president declared today as fast and prayer day or a day of Thanksgiving in Liberia, I was wondering what informed the president's action. Is it because we heard that the MCC board of directors supposed to be meeting to decide whether they're going to give us the $500 million US? Is that why the president is saying that we should go and pray so that this money can come to Liberia? Or what is the rationale? Because when you declare this kind of a holiday impulsively, you just wake up, you look at the sky, you say, hey, tomorrow is holiday, let's go and pray, and you shut down the entire economy of the country. Do you know how much it costs the country? It's a lot of money being wasted today. So that's a concern I have. What informed the president's action? Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you are concerned as to what triggered the decision by the president to ask his citizens to pray. Let's hear from you, Josh. Did you pray today?
I did.
If so, what did you pray for?
I pray for several things. I pray for peace. I pray for economic growth. I pray for the government to perform. I pray for the opposition to open their eyes and understand what governance is. And then
So are you suggesting that the opposition doesn't know what government is?
I mean, governance, a lot of people see the truth, and because of political reason, they try to tamper with the truth for their own political gains. But really, when it comes to the prayer, the reason for the holiday, I know that it's embedded in the president's reconciliation process that he started with a reburial, the what they call reburial of the former presidents, and the reconciliation continues. I think religious people did advise that he does that, and so I think everything being rolled out, even outside of our normal national holiday. I agree with my senior brother. Yes, it's true. Millions of dollars were wasted today, but were they wasted in vain? Well, it is God that will decide that. But I thought that it's true that millions of dollars went today, but I thought that the reconciliation is most important, because looking at us going forward is more important than what we can get right now for ourselves.
Okay, let's try to open the lines. I think at the close of that, I'll also state whether I did pray or I didn't, and what I did pray for. I prayed a very judgmental prayer today. So let me try to open the lines quickly. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793, or better still, 0886-540-987. I want to ask you, did you pray today? The president, His Excellency Joseph Imaboaka, ordered that we all, stay home or go to our places of worship. I don't know if you are from the mosque, you go there, or the church, you go there. Did you pray today at home, or you went to the church? And let's hear from you. If you didn't, why you didn't? If you pray, what was your concern? What was the concentration? What was contained in your prayer? I want to know from you. Again, 0778-460-793. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, or better still, you can call the Lone Star line, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. We want to hear from you. Did you pray today, or you didn't pray today? Did you honor the instruction? Did you honor the proclamation? I know in the days of old, when the people of Israel, when they do have a problem, the king will order a national fasting prayer. Let's hear from you quickly. Good evening.
Okay, this is Solomon Ward, the other quarter, but this is the thing.
Okay.
No be down.
Mm-hmm. Did you pray today?
When I prayed today for my country.
And what was contained in your prayer?
I pray for prosperity. I pray for unity. I pray for love. I pray for togetherness. I pray for good governance. I even pray for our president to be strengthened by God.
Okay.
There's a scripture the Apostle Paul wrote in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
One said, when I was a child, I behaved like a child. When I got to know myself to go in the gospel, I behaved like a good person. To become a good Liberian, we need to pray. We don't have a nation. Let's put our differences aside.
Okay. Okay, many thanks. I think you make a point already. I've got others on the line. Let's take this other caller. Good evening. Did you pray today? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Did you pray today, or you didn't? If you did, what was contained in your prayer?
This is Pastor David.
Okay.
So, let me admit here.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wednesday, I usually do my fast.
Okay.
Every Wednesday.
And if I were to pray today, which I didn't do, if I were to pray, I have my personal fast,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to pray, I will pray for God to change everything.
You say if you were to pray, I didn't hear you. You were low. If you were to pray, what happened?
I said,
Mm-hmm.
if I had the time to pray for him, for the government,
Mm-hmm.
I will pray for God to be the one to use him to lead the country.
Okay.
Pray. Hello?
Yes, go ahead quickly. We have the others on the line.
I will pray for him to be the real Mr. Baka to lead the country. I will pray to allow him to allow God to be working with him to be like you. If I had the time to pray.
Okay, many thanks. You made your point. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Did you pray today? What's your name? Did you pray? If I told you pray, what did you pray for?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes,
My name
sir.
is Ansuem Katama, calling from district number 14 to be precise. Thank you for your subsequent discussion. Yes, I pray today. I pray to the Almighty God first for my country. I pray to the Almighty God for my family. I pray to the Almighty God for good leadership, like His Excellency President Joseph Nima Bouaka. And I pray for good education. And I pray for our brother that is in the street who is now taking in drugs. I did a lot of praying today.
Okay.
Because today is a day that is selected for people to pray.
Okay.
People who are talking that today is not necessary, even though that we lost millions of dollars, it is true. But can you imagine after the holiday celebration, the Independence Day celebration, and the day of praying for on Sunday, we observed that many people did not go to church to pray. So it was necessary for us to use this day to pray for the country. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. We want to hear from you this evening. Were you part of those who honored or obeyed the presidential proclamation, the decree by the president for everyone to pray today? Did you pray at home, or did you go to the mosque, or did you go to the church? We want to hear from you. If you did, what were you praying for? Tell us what was contained in your prayer. We want to hear from you. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. That's the numbers to call and to alive on the nighttime heat tonight. Did you pray or you didn't pray?
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Yes. My brother, I pray every day for this country. Okay? I pray for this country. But we have to be serious in this country here. Governing issue doesn't require prayer or political will. Governing issue. We have the president who has 42 years experience in public service. He don't know how to govern this country. They call it for prayer. Are we serious, people? You gentlemen in this country, you gotta be serious. Governors around the world, they say, pray.
What did journalists do? What did journalists do with me? One faith we gotta fry in our oil.
Is that what you're telling us? I'm somebody who has been in public service for 42 years. You don't know what to do to make this country better.
Okay. Okay, you made your point. You made your point. Let's take another call on the line quickly. The lines are blinking. Good evening. Oh, please.
Hello.
Lower the volume of the radio. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. We want to hear from you. Did you pray today?
Call it, please.
Go ahead.
From Broadway. You see, I thank the Almighty God for the president to say today is a prayer day. Some of those talking, they don't actually know God. Inside Israel, the great Israel, then when things rough, we have to pray. The president said we should pray. Don't pray for our nation. And for me, I pray for the nation here. I pray for my people. And I pray for the people that change their mind in the country here.
Okay. Thank you.
We are working our hard.
Thank you. Let's take another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Uncle. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Did you pray today or you didn't?
Huh?
Did you pray today or you didn't?
All right. Thank you for the topic. And I just want to say something. This is Ricky Children. I just want to say something.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead quickly.
Okay. You know, there are certain times God can use certain people at certain point. I don't see it to be wrong for us to pray today. I said, I pray today. God can use anybody at any
Okay,
time.
so you pray today. What did you pray for? What did you pray for?
I pray for my nation.
Okay.
I pray for my nation because God can use people to talk to us. Maybe it will God tell our president to do that. So God can use anyone at any time. So I don't see no wrong thing inside it.
Okay. Many thanks. You made your point. Let's take another call on the line today. 077-846-0793. Let's take this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Saba.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, this is Augusta. We are calling from the diplomatic eclipse of Juan Panton.
Okay.
Yeah, Saba, I think everybody has their own instinct, and the president has his own godly instinct. I think God has given him one direction that he said we should pray. So I think I joined the president to pray for the holistic development of this country. I think that was the prayer that God has given the president to pray for the holistic development of this country. That was the instinct that God gave Joseph Newman Boakai.
Okay, and I want you to pray for today also.
Yeah.
Okay, many thanks. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Hello?
No.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Okay, yes, Abigail, let's hear from you. Did you pray today? Yes, you prayed today?
Yes, today I go to church. God is saying what our president made. He said he said he would deal with the devil. So I told God,
so why did you tell God? No, we didn't hear you. You learned terrible. Just change your location. Change your location a bit. You said, why did you tell God?
Yeah,
Yeah, why did you tell God? Okay, thank you. You pray for your sister and brother. Okay, let's take another call on the line quick. Good evening.
Good evening, Saba.
Yes, sir. Let's
good evening to the panelists in studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Ali calling from Broadway, District 17.
Okay. Did you pray today? And if so, what did you pray for?
Yes. Today I went because as usual, I pray 5 times a day. Whenever I pray to the Almighty Allah for God to strengthen our president to move the country in the rightful direction. And today my prayer point was again in my 5 daily salat that the Almighty Allah must strengthen our president, giving the knowledge to lead this country in a positive direction.
Okay.
Each and every citizen will benefit from it.
Okay, many things.
At least we can see the benefit from the prayer today by the president.
What the benefit?
Other people are confessing all around.
Okay, that's okay. We're not going to talk about the other people confessing. We're not going to go into that. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Okay, the call is okay. The call is back. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Did you pray today?
Yeah, I'm Samal Kruma calling from the bypass.
Okay, let's hear from you, Mr. Kruma.
Yeah, my prayer point today was the 500 million that the MCs are going to bring to Liberia. I pray for it to come, we will benefit from it. I pray for the young machine to come, we will benefit from it. I pray for the president to get long life. And I also pray that those against Liberia progress because of human worship, let God bring it down. We are pray today for the country to go better. Let God answer our prayer. Let God answer our children's prayer in the future so we can benefit.
Okay.
When you go in the mosque or you go in the church today to pray for the country to go down, You will go down, and I want to pray for today.
Okay.
You go down, you're trying to be down, you'll be down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You prayed already. Let's get another call on the line. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Did you pray?
Yeah, I'm calling you.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, the prayer point for today, it just looks like the country is coming to progress. Because if you are a patriotic citizen of this country, and they ask you to go and pray, you must pray for positive things. If you decide to pray for negative things, which means you are a devil. So the devil that you see there now, the whole one now we are using, they are confessing. Thank you very much.
So, okay, you said people are confessing. I don't know who confessed today. Let's get another call on the line today. Let's take this call up quickly. Good evening. Good evening. Let's take this call on the line. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
My name is Prince Colin, calling from Maryland, Baltimore, USA.
Okay.
Yeah, I called to participate in the program. I pray for my nation today.
Okay. So, what did you pray for?
I pray for Joseph Boakai to start giving all the liquidity job to Lufien.
Oh, you should start giving all the liquidity job to Lufians. Okay.
Yeah. Ministry of Finance, Lofa County. I pray for them to stop doing that. Internal Affairs Ministry, Lofa County. Central Bank, Lofa County. The Military, Lofa County. And I pray for him to.
But Prince.
Is it the Prime Minister of Lufien?
Prince.
$2.5 million car. Then so we must fast and pray for the nation. When Charter call for prayer, I can remember those days when we were coming on. Charter call for prayer, Charter on SKD in portrait. But I could say for La Bureau, I can remember I was small coming all the time. When Charter call for prayer. But Joseph Boakai tell them to go pray. They give our prayer time, they go have look at the program where the ministers then they drink, help them liquor and tea, then they have fun time, and then someone fast and pray for the nation. When they will ever realize Joseph Boakai celebrate a birthday party when you were vice president for 12 years. Because we made him president now. Oh, the criticism, you couldn't start George Weah here too. Where's your George Weah? So
Okay.
for him to stop doing those things there.
Okay.
Pay attention to the nation and try and lobby to create job for the people. He's taking job from the people that pray for him to stop doing all this thing there.
Okay.
So I pray for Joseph Boakai to do the better and start giving all the lucrative job to Lufien.
Okay, Prince. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you, Prince. We did appreciate your time calling from the USA. Let's get a call on the line quickly. It's about 8:29. Good evening.
Good evening, Sobo.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Did you pray today?
Yeah, my name is Jeremiah Jacob. First of all, I call from district number 17. Sobo, let me appreciate your studio guests or your panelists on the platform. I prayed today. I went to service and I prayed because I'm a Christian. And my prayer point for Labrador and my Bible pray that same prayer point even tonight in my devotion. That God will put the country, the nation into motion for promotion. That is the prayer point. God, let the country get into motion for promotion. Let our nation, because the nation has been out of motion for a very long time, since 176 years. So let God let there be a divine speed for our country that will get to a higher level. So that is my prayer for today.
Okay. Many thanks. Let's get another call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How you doing, my brother?
I'm okay. Let's hear from you. Did you pray today?
Yeah, actually, I'm grateful to God and to my president because actually every Wednesday and Friday we pray to our church and have some services. For my disappointment here into the Liberian people, I was shocked today, my brother, this morning for a young Liberian to call and say, what does prayer have to do with our country? I think it actually play on me. But you know, sometimes the young people, we are the ones that are trying to mislead this country. The old people, they have nothing to do with these things that are happening. And so we continue to pray to God for our country. And let God give our president sense of direction that he will be able to govern the Liberian people and lay the foundation so that even when he shall be living, the next person that will come will stand on that foundation to build our country for our children and our future.
Okay.
Thanks so everyone for the show.
Many thanks also. Let's take another call on the line. We'll take about 3 calls and then we'll wrap it up because I'm sure our guests will be coming on very shortly. 088 that's 0778 460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, or better say you call the Lone Star line, 0886-540-987. We want to hear from you. Did you pray today? Did you follow the presidential proclamation? Let's hear from this caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
This is a Gordon Yekpa calling from New Jersey Estate.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I pray today. I pray for my president. The president I love, the best president ever I love in this country is President Joseph Nima Boakai. I pray for God to give him long life for 2 terms. I want to pray for today. And God will bless him, you get 2 terms. He's very good. Those are praying against him. He will not succeed.
Okay, thank you. Let's take another call on the line. We'll take only 3 more. Let's take the second one quickly. Good evening. Hello? Okay, 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call and to alive on the nighttime heat. Again, 0778-460-793. We'll take the last caller quickly. 0778-460-793. Let's take this caller from this line. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good evening to everybody. Yes, my name is Ibrahim Yang, and I'm calling you from Ghana with Chocolate City.
Okay, AB, let's hear from you.
Okay, my prayer point today was that I pray to God to soften the heart of the president to lead in favor of everybody, and to remember the ex-EPS officers who were illegally terminated. Those officers were serving Liberian people, irrespective of whose regime they work. They were not working for a particular person, for everybody. But to come and terminate them only because they were enlisted to Somaliland,
Okay.
and that was wrong, and he should reconsider that particular decision.
Okay, many thanks, many thanks. We really appreciate your time also. Let's take this caller.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I am Dauda Masakwe calling from Brighton, Busho Island District 14, CKA Ebola CC.
Okay, Ebola. Let's hear from you.
So finally, Labrador are getting a leader. Yeah, a leader we are getting. But because of politics, we still fight to go against him. Yes, we pray every day. Yes, but we say we should pray. And show a day for all to pray. And God said we should respect our leader. We pray. Now that men are calling for America here and there for 500 million. Yes, indeed. As for me, I pray for God to give us the green light for all to win that 500 million. 500 million is not a small money for MCC, for the country to receive. It will help to transform our country. That's my core contribution to the show. So I pray for Mama Labrador and Joseph Boakai.
Okay. Okay, let's take this caller. This last one before we go back to my panelists. So we start with our guest. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Your name?
Yeah, I'm Gabriel Estudo. I'm calling from Front Street tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, first I want to thank you very kindly for the work you do for the Liberian people. But my prayer points today was for God to bless our president, His Excellency, Dr. Joseph Nima Boakai, for God to bless him to lead the country the right way. You know, some people, is leading themselves. You will not be able to, tell the person how to pray. Other people pray different ways. So when they call on the radio, their prayer point is their prayer point. They are not going to change their prayer point. So that's what happening. So we Liberians, we will not mislead ourselves, because this is our country. It's the only country that we have. It is the only country that we cannot be deported from. So we always pray for the betterment of the nation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's take this last one. Good evening. For now, this last one for now. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, let's hear from you. Hello?
Yeah, my name is Mayale Dukle calling from Johnson Street.
Let's hear from you, Mama.
Yeah, I pray for my president. I'm going to give my president long life. My father did a prayer today. I was there praying.
Okay.
I'm going to give my president long life. I'm going to straighten him on doing that proper job.
Okay. Many thanks, many thanks. Let's do the last one. We said the last one, but the call still coming. Quickly, good evening. Our guests are coming in. Good evening. Hello. Okay. Yes. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm John Father.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's hear from you.
Yes, I pray new beginning. Everything when you failure comes, you have to have new beginning. So I thank God for our president to bring this prayer to be done today. We will pray for success. Success will be in Jesus' name.
Okay. Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. Let's take that caller. Yeah, last caller. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, let's hear from you.
Calling from Japan. I go to service today.
Okay.
At least me are happy our president declared they pass it. Like why they said I Christian there, but what it's a more now for. Oh, they will eat the say soon they know about today. And the president was declared to they will pass on the church off. But that also that will get continue on the president one. Will not get stuck for president, but what they will in the market. So the market can be fast. Even if they say how much they nothing can in the country anymore. For one reason. The president that cannot for the people to clean the market. So now when the president was that's only way market. Everywhere, I want my veto.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. We did appreciate your time. Okay, Mama. Thank you. Thank you. Moses and George, you've been listening to the callers. Let me begin with you, Moses. What did you gather from all the callers?
Well, if you do a critical analysis of the cause, you will get to know that a greater percentage of the callers agree that the declaration by the president is good. You know, that doesn't mean that people who disagree, their opinion should not be considered. They have their own reasons. So they talk about, putting Liberia first, the president must succeed. We all want the president to succeed. However, this is where I would like to disagree with my brother and friend, Mr. Kennedy. He said the fast and prayer, call by the president is intended to enhance the reconciliation process. When we talk about reconciliation, basically we're letting things go. We try to mend fences, acknowledge that we're in error, and try to correct the past. Now, let's look at President Bouakai. When last President Bouakai ever spoke to Mr. Weah, his immediate, the immediate past president. How do you preach reconciliation when you and the man you succeeded, you don't speak to him? When last he spoke to Benona Ure? Benona Ure stood with Mr. Bouakai all the time. One of the last time they all met since he came to the presidency. Let's take it to the capital. President Bouakai was in Italy with the former speaker when members of the House of Representatives, with the support of the Unity Party lawmakers, they initiated the process to unseat this guy. Did President Bouakai intervene? We're talking about reconciliation here. I'm sitting with you, sober. I'm at your house, and somebody is breaking into my home, and those people breaking into my home are your friends, and you're talking about reconciliation? You say nothing about that? The president saying his cabinet ministers to the lawmakers to do business with them. That he said, well, what I'm doing runs contrary to the laws of the country? How do you talk about reconciliation when your actions are just the opposite of reconciliation? I think the decision by the president to call for fast and prayer today, that decision was taken impulsively. He didn't think it through. He didn't think it through. Yes.
Okay. So let me hold you there and come to George quickly.
I don't like to sound like government spokesperson, but I like to provide information to my brother. He's far away.
Yeah, you may not be a government spokesperson, but you may be a supporter of the government.
But I just want to let him know that the issue of reconciliation is not one-sided. When President Bouakai took over, all the invitations he extended to President Weah to attend various functions, even including the UN program, buying for UN non-permanent member seat, Mr. Weah rejected all. Mr. Weah refused to attend those functions. What's going on behind the scene? What are they speaking on now? We don't know. But let me go to Mr. Benena Ure. The Ure family and the president settled their differences. Go to Mr. Telia Ure, the Henry Costa, the Mr. Ure, and they said, oh, they were cool. They went on their Facebook page to support them. So it should be every day that people should be talking. The issue at the House of Representatives was a political issue.
Okay.
The president met the parties, even including the former speaker. The president did not support, let me say this to my colleague. The president did not support Speaker Koon's first bid for the speakership. The president stayed away, even though he, as a president, came from the Unity Party, and now Speaker Koon is from the Unity Party. This president refused to support Speaker Koon. He sat aside, he said he didn't want to play, the first election, he said he didn't want to play any role, he didn't want to interfere with any branch of government. Honorable Koon then was defeated 5 votes margin. And my colleague will not want to understand or accept the fact that in 2018, when President Weah won the election, the Unity Party had more representatives in the House than the CDC. But the two parties met and they agreed that the speakership should go to the ruling party. Then the opposition take the deputy speaker. The High Honorable Imara Nukwe became deputy speaker and Boffa Chimbos became speaker. When this time the election was held 2023, the CDC had more lawmakers in the lower house than the Unity Party. The CDC refused to agree to what they had earlier agreed to, they benefited from in 2008. When they took the speakership, because the president had to have the speakership, then they said they were going for the speakership. They went to the election, they won as a party. The Unity Party did not come until Speaker Koon, Speaker Kofa started going contrary to what his colleagues wanted when they plotted to remove him. Then this president who did not participate in their election should go now to go tell them, say, oh, I've come to interfere, so don't do this, don't do that. No, the president decided to remain independent in that process. I don't want to say neutral, but independent. At the end of the day, when the conflict came over numbers, the Constitution said where the quorum is. Anywhere the quorum is, they can do based on their Liberian people.
In another word, you are saying that the president didn't do nothing at all. He didn't commit any crime.
It's not a crime.
He was not part of any of the factions.
Yes, he didn't do.
Okay.
So he shouldn't be seen here as someone who did. So he's not a reconciler.
Yeah, Moses.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Let me just say something quickly. Mr. Kennedy, don't forget to know that you are speaking to a journalist like yourself, who is widely read. I do not live in Liberia. I do not have to live in Liberia. The world is a global village. I sit right in the United States and talk to you about what is happening in Lofa County. Everything here we're talking about is in the public domain. Who put Richard Koon and the other people in the hotels? Where did the funding come from?
Are you saying that President Bouakai put them in the hotel?
Of course, that was at the expense of the government.
Like how?
That was at the expense of the Liberian government.
Like how?
The funding came. I'm sorry.
Like how?
Allow me, let me speak. There was a report, a media report, a member of the House of Representatives claimed he made an allegation against members of the House of Representatives that they were being bribed. This government, the House of Representatives, called for a probe. Have we gotten the outcome of that probe?
So do you
Mr.
know
George,
Asawara was
I've
suspended?
gotten the outcome of that probe. I don't want to go into the detail. There are laws on the book that
supposed to ask the LACC. Maybe you don't know that matter went to LACC. That matter went to LACC.
Mr. Kennedy, everything is in the public domain. The Minister of Internal Affairs, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Mo Ali, and the others appear before the House of Representatives.
No, none of that makes this thing.
I mean, everything is in the public domain.
Gentlemen, there's a difference between allegation and facts.
We have two of our guests already joining us.
Thank you. I wanted to let you know that the LACC investigator that exonerated, there were no proof.
Okay.
Maybe you don't have that facts.
I think thank you, George, and thank you, Moses. I think this is healthy for the conversation. We must have the balance, and there'll be for and there'll be against. But like I said at the close of the program, I will tell you about my own prayer. But one thing I know, it's written in the Bible, says, if my people who are called by my name, if they will humble themselves, they pray, not only praying, seek my face and turn from our wicked ways. So we can be praying and doing the same thing. So we'll talk about that. I will tell you about the contents of my prayer later on. Let's try to bring in quickly Mr. Jacob Jala. Mr. Jala has joined us tonight. Mr. Jala, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Very clear.
Okay. But I'm getting echo. I don't know why.
If you're getting a feedback?
Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
Maybe it is where you are.
Please check where you are.
Yeah, check where you are.
Maybe I signed in twice. So let me just get back out and then
yes, and come back on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Mr. Oliver on. Okay, let's welcome Mr. Oliver Wisa from the UAE. Mr. Wisa, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited to be on tonight. And I mean, say hi to your panelists and your guests.
Okay, so let's begin with today's activity, proclamation by the president. He orders that everyone prays for for the country. Let's hear from you. Did you pray today?
Sir, I pray every day anyway, and in conjunction with the president's declaration, yes, I did pray, and I want to say thank you to the president for being so far-sighted. I mean, in every aspect, including spiritual. Every Liberian, everywhere today, they'll gather in churches, in mosques, and they'll pray for the growth and development of the country. Yes, I did pray. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. It's good to pray, like I said, but we have to be praying, with in line with the scripture. We can't just come up to pray, hoping that Jacob can come back quickly. So that we ask Jacob as to whether he did pray or he didn't. And if he did, what did he pray for? Because it's in the Bible that my people who are called by my name, if they can humble themselves, they can pray, they can seek my face, and they can turn from their wicked ways. I will answer them and I will heal their land. So we can be praying and then we're doing the same old thing, signing, deals that are, harming the people. So we have to look at that as well. We have to look at our prayers and our actions. We're trying to wait for Jacob Jala quickly, but tonight we'll be doing part 2 of the yes. Okay, Jacob, are you on now?
Oh, sir, I was speaking something before you.
Okay. Let's hear from you quickly. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is good to pray, but the same Bible makes us understand that faith without action is just a dead one. So you can pray all you want to pray. If you do not apply actions to the thing you pray for, they'll just be dead at all. And so that is one aspect of praying. You know, you can pray, but if your prayers are not backed by actions, your prayer may be in vain. The president called for
Akame, Oliver. Are you reacting to what I said about Second Chronicle? Is that what you reacting to?
You know, he said
it has absolutely no bearing on what I've said, right?
I'm not really reacting.
Okay, thank you. Let's go there. Let's go there and bring Jacob Jala quickly. Jacob, welcome to the program. Mr. Jala, please unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you now. Welcome to the program.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, yeah.
Okay, now we want to just ask you first before going to our discussion. Did you pray today? Or did you honor the presidential proclamation for all Liberians to pray? Did you pray today?
So I pray without ceasing. So
okay,
I'm always in prayer, but I didn't go to any formal gathering.
Okay, so you pray today.
Yeah, I pray without ceasing. I mean prayer at all times.
Almost every time. Okay, so but specifically today, what did you pray for?
Well, I always pray for peace. I always pray for harmony. I always pray for understanding and intelligence, because I think those are very, very important, aspect of life. And I pray for that all the time within myself and for my country also.
Okay, many thanks, Mr. Jala. Basically, we did invite you and in order to do a post-analysis of the national oration by Reverend Emmett Dunn. We all know that he spoke very well, but we want to begin from where he spoke about. Building, nation building, and he offered about 5 pillars, that we can use to build our country, that we can use to build the country. So let's try to play the first tape.
So,
yes.
Yes, so I beg you, let me just use 1 minute of your time, please. I just want to provide a clarification. I know that Councillor Kanyo Bala is going to be here. Even though he's not here now, but I think it's important to provide this clarification. When we met a week ago, we were discussing policing. And the councillor said that the United States is not one of the few countries where policing is considered to be best. I just want the public to know that the councillor was in error. Research shows that policing in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, Germany, Singapore, Japan, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Sweden are among the best in the world. Policing in the United States, Canada, Japan, Germany, Sweden, the Netherlands are considered the best. How did they derive at this? A number of things that are considered. When we say best, the word best is subjective. It means that it may look different from, it may be best to me, it may not be best to you. However, there are criteria. The time of response when someone is in crisis. How do these countries respond? Yes. So they look at that, community relations, they look at that, and these countries are considered the best in terms of policing. I just want the councillor to know that. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure when Kanu comes, you immediately respond. But thank you for your clarifications. I just received a text from David Cody. He said, I pray the pastor will not get the money to buy squash cards. I don't know who's the pastor that he's praying that the person shouldn't get money to buy squash cards. David is just a controversial guy, that's all. So, gentlemen, let's begin with the issue of nation building. That was the part of the crux of the oration that we heard. And of course, he began that with he offered 5 pillars. Suggestions on 5 pillars, and so let's play the first tape. We all listen, and then we can give our individual perspectives on that. Let's upload quickly.
It's not a gift wrapped and given to us. It is a responsibility that we must earn. Building that future means embracing a new national covenant. To accomplish this task of national building, I offer 5 pillars for your consideration. Pillar number 1, I call us to reimagine our national identity. Liberia stands at a moment where we must reimagine our future. And that future must begin with a foundation that recognizes all Liberians. Let us together write a new chapter in our national narrative that binds us not by the division of our past, but by the sheer hope of our collective destiny. Mr. President, with deep respect and a sincere love for our country, I appeal to you, sir, to take a historic and unifying step to appoint a national commission tasked with proposing a new motto for the Republic of Liberia. This request is not made lightly, nor is it new. It has been a call that has echoed for decades among Liberians who yearn for a national identity that is inclusive, representative, and reflective of the values and aspirations of all Liberians. The current national motto, "The love of liberty brought us here," speaks to the legacy of the freed settlers who arrived on our shores in the 19th century. Listen to me. While this history is an inseparable part of our national story, the motto fails to recognize or speak to the lived experience, identity, and heritage of the vast majority of Liberians, the indigenous population whose ancestors were already here. A national motto should be more than a relic of history. It should be a source of shared pride, unity, and vision. Liberia today is a diverse republic made up of many ethnic groups, many different religions and backgrounds, all of whom deserve to see themselves reflected in the words that define our national purpose and spirit.
Okay,
Mr. President,
we listen to the national orator talking about the issue of our motto. Let me hear from you first, Mr. Oliver Wise. What do you think about what he said, what the national orator said? What's your takeaway?
Well, Sabar, honestly, he made mention of national identity. And if we must be identified as one people to promote patriotism, then I think the orator was right when he also talked about inclusivity being reflected in our national motto. You know, when you say the love of liberty brought us here, initially it made a lot of sense because few Liberians those who call themselves Liberians now, who were previously free slaves, were taken to that piece of land, and then they could say, for the love of liberty brought us here. But now, as we speak, we are not going to refer to Liberians as only those who were brought into the country as free slaves. And therefore, the motto should include everybody, including those who were already in the country when the free slaves arrived. We all know the history of Liberia. There were people already living in Liberia before the free slaves arrived, and those people are the indigenous. And so our motto actually needs to be rewritten in order to include everybody, to promote diversity and patriotism. So I think I do agree with the orator that our national motto is not reflective of all.
Okay. Okay, let's hear from you, Mr. Jacob Jara. What's your takeaway from that?
Yes. So, my takeaway from the orator's delivery, particularly for me, the part of it that jumped out of the speech to me is that the question, or you want us to talk about his comment about the national motto?
Yes, the national motto. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Sure. I think yeah. Some steps need to be taken in that direction to reflect the multiplicity and diversity of social groupings we have in the country. This is a very, very diverse republic of different tribal groups, different social structures, whether it's religious or tribal or ethnic, whatever you want to. So the country has to reflect such diversity and has to embrace that diversity. The history of the country is very clear to everyone. I mean, we who went to high school in Liberia, grade school, we get to learn the Liberian history, Joseph Gwanu narration of it all, and documenting the historical record of the country. So we all quite know the extent to which Liberian history has been heavily contested and also has had a divisive perspective to it. So as we move forward as a united country, as a unified country, embracing our diversity, we need to have a motto that will reflect the multiplicity and diversity and the unity that brings everyone together. This is similar to South Africa. You know, Mandela promoted the Rainbow Nation. You know, people of all color and no color for a united South Africa. We need the same thing here. Dr. Sawyer promoted some of that. I think he proposed the love of unity, unite us, or liberty, unite us. Whatever it is, we need to do a national symbol that reflects unity in the face of our beautiful diversity as a country.
Okay, so it's one thing, gentlemen, to do a new motto, but can that also reflect in the way we behave as a people, as a country, especially considering the way we sometimes divide the country by saying, this person is not part of this political arrangement, this person is not part of this religious arrangement, and so we sideline each other. Do you think doing a new motto can help to address that? Let me begin with you. Yes, Jacob.
Yeah, okay, if I can talk about that, my mic is open at this point quickly, is that, yeah, I mean, somebody, you raise a beautiful question. I like the question because that question allows us to go to the heart of the issue. You know, we can do motto, we can do signages, we can do mantras, or we can do slogans. Yes, those things have their own, practical value, all of that. But the real deal, we have to come to the heart of all Liberians. We have to travel in our own very heart, and understand what unity is in the face of diversity. Now, normally as human beings, we have a degree of diversity. We all will not come from the same tribe. We all will not have the same height. We all will not have the same body weight. We all will not have the same preferences when it comes to political party. We all may not have the same religious inclination and all of that. we may all may not have the same cultural persuasion. Yes, those diversities exist, and they are beautiful in their own way. They are not problematic unless we take them to be law and gospel, or we take them to be ultimately the truth, and then we forget about the unity, that we are in the background, right? The diversity is in the foreground of our experience, yeah, but our unity is in the background of our experience. So we all are connected, united from the source. Now, when we know ourselves to be that, then we can now celebrate the diversities that we share. And the so-called apparent differences will no longer have the kind of weight and momentum that currently it has among Liberians. Okay. And I think that is the problem we're having today. Mr. X is a different political party. You cannot work for the country because we take our differences too seriously when they are expected to be just superficial, when they're expected to be celebrated for their diversity that they are, but recognizing our oneness and sameness from the source.
Okay, Oliver, let's hear from you on this. Doing a new model is true, but can that help to reflect in the way we behave, bringing all of us together, and not seeing one person has not been part of this political institution, so we silence that person, we exclude them from the governance process?
Well, I mean, having a motto will actually help to give us a sense of direction when it comes to patriotism. Okay, but that alone cannot automatically make us be united. I mean, we are human beings. Yeah, I mean, we are human beings. And so in a country where you have multi-party democracy, you expect to have people having different opinions about their political affiliations. You have people having their own mindset about what political party to belong to. And so as human beings, I mean, naturally, that division will always be there. But when we have a national motto,
let me come back to you, Oliver. It will be there, granted. But do you think, because in another word, you're trying to support it being there, do you think it helps with the development of the country? It helps with the reconciliation of the country? Because if you are saying, yes, indeed, we are human beings, the division will always be there. We're not looking at the general good of the country. Do you think it's going to help with the development process and the reconciliation process?
So, we need to face reality here. There is no country in the world where everybody is united because of a motto. It is not possible. It is not just possible. You have a motto that gives direction to promote patriotism, to unite people regardless of diversity, but there will still be this division.
Oliver, again, Oliver, what we're trying to say, it's good to do a new motto, but can it reflect in the way we behave, in the way we approach the governance process? Because we see it now happening. We saw it before in last administration. We've seen it in this administration that people think that others should be excluded. They shouldn't be part of the governance process because they are now part of the institution that they come from. Do you think that new motto can help and address that?
So what I think is, whether you belong to political party A or B, there should be equal opportunities provided for all Liberians. When you are qualified to do a particular job, you should be given an opportunity to do that job, regardless of your political parties. All right? But the point I was making is, by just having a motto, will not automatically unite a people that come from different tribal backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, different political ideologies. I mean, there will be some kind of division in between. But yes, if we have,
yes, I'm coming here. Yes, come here.
Yes, so I just want to contribute quickly.
Yeah.
Look, the warning the current motto that we have, it says, for the love of liberty, the love of liberty brought us here, for the love of liberty, we came, or whatever. So you had free slaves, people taken to the United States as slaves. When they gained freedom, they say, hey, we have to go back to where we came from. And they went back to Liberia as settlers. They met people there. They said the decision to go back, it was in search of what? Freedom, which is laudable. Even though they met people on the ground, they managed the affairs of the country, there was what? Complete dominance until the 1980 Civil War. Not Civil War, but rather the military coup. There was complete dominance. American Liberians managed all the resources predominantly of the country. So then came the military coup led by Samuel Doe. They overthrew, and Samuel Doe, after years, he also became what? A dictator. He ran the government. If you look at the structure of the Samuel Doe administration in terms of political appointments, the military predominantly people from Grand Jida County. Predominantly Grand Jida County. We're talking about indigenous people going against indigenous people. Predominantly people from Grand Jida County. That laid the foundation for the Civil War. We went through successive civil wars, and we still have problem with tribalism. Now take it to the most recent, George Weah. When Mr. Weah was president, you look at the profile of his administration, the most senior position in Mr. Weah's position were all awarded to what? People from the southeast, people from Sino, people from Grand Crook County, people from Grand Jida County. Over 80% of Mr. Weah's appointment, predominantly people from the southeast. In this administration, tribalism is at the highest. You look at Mr. Walker's appointment, political appointees. Over 70% of the people come from Lofa County. The Minister of Finance is from Lofa. The head of the central bank, the bank governor, is from Lofa County. The Minister of Internal Affairs is from Lofa County. And the list goes on. Our problem we have in Liberia is what? Tribalism. This gone beyond. Yeah, it is true that we can tweak the model to make it more inclusive, but in America we say if it is not broken, don't try to fix it. What we need to work on now, Sobo, is how we can control this problem of tribalism, social connections. Until we take care of those problems, we'll still have a divided country. So
Okay. Let's read it.
quickly,
Let's read it.
and
Yes,
Sobo,
yeah.
quickly, let me say this. Today you submit a resume for any position in government. The first thing they want to know, what political party you come from. What's your tribal background? They're not looking at competence. No. A lot of people in the government, they were not recruited because they are more qualified than any of us on this platform here. No. It's about what? Tribal connection, political connection, social connections. These are the negative voices that we have in our country. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Oliver, do you agree with Moses? No, do you agree with his analysis?
Yeah, surely, because Sober, part of the different governments you mentioned, their attitudes were not because of the motto that we commonly have. No. The love of liberty brought us here had nothing to do with Samuel Doe making his government predominantly people of his tribe. No. It had nothing to do with President. We are appointing all of the government officials coming from the southeast. No. It had nothing to do with what you just said regarding this common government. So that means we have a fundamental problem that needs to be addressed. And it's not just by having a motto. And that's why I say you can have a motto to reflect everything, but there will still be because
So let me begin. Let me begin with Mr. Jara. Mr. Jara, how do we then address this if the motor wouldn't help? So as to so that our president would not put a committee together and spend some money on them again. Say, look, let's do motor. If the motor will not help, how do we address this whole divide? Jacob, please unmute yourself. Mr. Jara. Okay.
I just wanted to ask on what.
One minute, Mr. Jara.
Look, which tribe in Liberia that is more original? All other tribes came from elsewhere and settled here on this land. All these tribes are here. Our history shows that came from elsewhere. So brought us here,
met us here,
unites us here. We all came from elsewhere and then settled here. Okay? So the perennial issue is what we're trying to address about tribalism. And I'd like to trace it back to the 133 years rule of the same American Liberians. How many native people did they give power to? Let's look at the fights also. So it were all to themselves also. So the country's history, we just need to have change of attitude. We just need to have change of behavior. You could see someone say he's a superintendent of Bomi, for example, Bomi County, but he's not from Bomi. He was not originally from Bomi.
Okay.
They could say the person is superintendent for Bassa County or this and that. They're not originally from there. They were settlers. So these things we need to address it holistic. It being a problem of this country since the country was founded in 1822 to 1847 up to date. It's not just a matter of from 1980.
Okay.
It's been problem.
So let's hear from Mr. Jala. Mr. Jala, so that we don't spend money on setting up committee and saying let's do motor when the motor will not help us. How do we address this whole issue of divide so that our political leaders will not use it and exclude other people from the political process, from the governance process?
So what we need, I like the question. What we need is, I would say, a psychological revolution. I mean, I think George hinted it. We need a psychological, not physical revolution. We will track that and we see how childish that is and how destructive that is. But we need a psychological, a transformation of the mind. That's what we need. We need to transform our understanding. We need to transform the way we see the world, the way we see others, the way we see ourselves. If we don't do that, anything else we do will reflect the same error from the foundation. Like building a house, you're building a house on sand. I mean, no matter how fancy the house is, that house lacks durability. It will soon start laying one side and falling over. So the question is, we can do motor, we can do all the things we need to do, but what is the foundation? The foundation has to be the mindset. The foundation has to be the psychology, the intelligence, that drives social transformation, that drives national development. And I think a few people in a society do have that kind of place in history, that kind of power, that kind of transformative power to begin to lead that psychological revolution, that psychological transformation of the mind. And that's where I think leadership comes in. And you see, that's why when you talk about a leader in the country, the president of the republic or a group of leaders, they're very, very critical towards the direction of the country. They have the ability to influence the consciousness of the society. So that's why you talk about, like in the US, talk about the critical mass, that's what we need. We need a president. We need that president to be able to build a critical mass of Liberians to begin to change the mindset of the country. We saw something like Rwanda. Paul Kagame, he changed the tongue, the native tongue of the Rwandan people from French to English. I mean, you see that kind of big. So we need that kind of thing here. And now I think President Boakai has that kind of historic responsibility to begin to drive that change. And for me, that's why I want to see things like, trying to remove the speaker of the legislature because he comes from this party and it does not come from the Unity Party, for example, for me, I feel sad by that, because I still see the same old divisive tactic, because this person is in party X and I'm in party Y. On the basis of that, I can't work with this man because of that kind of narrow parochial differences. We need a Liberian president who will be able to rise above those kind of parochial fragmentary differences and unite the people to move the country forward. Now, not to say we want to dissolve political parties. That's not what I'm saying. We should not do that, because these parties have their own value. But we have to be able to transcend this institution and recognize the real collective interest of the country. So the transformation of the mind is what we need.
And you know, the situation, the division is so intense that, you know, when the new administration comes in, you hear the followers, that's our time. That's our time. That's no immature way of saying things. That our time, it's our time now to rule. It's our time to lead and claiming on to national leadership. Forgetting to know that, look, we need to include other people. It's troubling. But let's try to play the second tip, gentlemen, quickly. Looking at the nation building, for the second portion of that. Let's try to look at that. The second suggestion.
We must confront economic disparities. In a country as rich in natural resources as ours, why are so many of our people so poor? This is not just an economic issue, it's a moral one. We must focus on economic justice, because peace without prosperity is fragile. A hungry child cannot wait for microeconomic policies. A farmer without tools cannot wait for a committee's report. And a mother who cannot afford health care for her child does not need promises. She needs solutions. My fellow citizens, we cannot talk about independence without talking about economics independence. It is time we confront a painful truth. Too much of our economy is owned and controlled by foreign interests. While foreign investment is welcome, it must not be at the expense of our dignity. The soul of our economy must be Liberian. Liberians must be actively involved in owning businesses. Liberians must be positioned to create wealth and not just consume it. To do that, we must nurture and grow a vibrant middle class, one that builds entrepreneurship, skilled labor, professional excellence, and innovation. A strong middle class is the backbone of every stable society.
Okay, so let us end it there. Gentlemen, he's talking about economic justice, a country with a lot of resources, yet our people are still poor. Let me begin with you, Mr. Jala, your analysis, your understanding of what he just said.
Absolutely. He was spot on that. You know, it is the great Liberian dilemma we have to deal with. And this has been haunting Liberia economic history for decades. You know, we have not been able to turn the structure of the Liberian economy around and make it an economy that is driven. And he made a good point. The soul of the economy has to be Liberian, has to be driven by Liberian entrepreneurship. You know, we have to industrialize, because it is impossible to create wealth, to expand this economy, to bring on along the rest of the population on board without domestic production, without manufacturing, and without structuring the economy in ways that promote Liberian economic empowerment. Doing one thing over and over will always end up in the same result, and I think Einstein called that insanity. If you look at Liberian economic history, foreign domination of the economy, whether it is extractive industry, whether it's iron ore, whether it's diamond, whether it's gold, the natural resources, the natural endowment, or even whether you're discussing like the import economy, whether you're talking about food products, rice, importation is heavily owned by foreign interests. No economy is able to prosper in that way. It's impossible. And we keep, steamrolling the economic engine in this way. There has to be a radical transformation of the structure of the economy. We have to be local producers. We have to go into agriculture. We also have to look into our current concession model, the way we hand out natural resources. And I think we had this discussion the other time around the current concession model, right? And I'll ask the question, where did we really get this system of handing Liberian natural resources to foreign company? And somebody said, oh, this was inherited from Totman, the Totman era. And then the open door policy, bringing in multinationals and giving Liberia natural resources for royalties and corporate income taxes and all of that. The country is not benefiting anything substantial from those resources. The statistics said $900 million gold export last year, B Mountain, and other companies. How many came to Liberia in terms of royalty? Maybe $13, $20, $30 million. So in a few years' time, all of our natural resources, and those natural resources are finite, meaning they can finish. When they get finished in 20, 25 years, Liberia will still remain underdeveloped, and then we will have a new big crisis on our hand because we now have developed to the level where we're able to grow new sectors like fisheries, like tourism, like other productive sectors, like a take over agriculture. And so we have a huge problem. So the president now and the leadership of the country now, they are under responsibility to try to look at our concession model, how we handle our natural resources, but also to begin to revamp the economy in a way that will bring Liberian to the heart of things.
Okay. Oliver, let's hear from you. Mr. Wilson, please unmute yourself here.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sabel.
You listen to the, let me help you. You listen to the national orator. You said the issue of economic justice, not just economic issue. It's moral as well. It means that it has a very profound aspect I will have to look at.
Yeah, this issue of economic disparity in our country is not a new thing. Actually, we are discussing a country of 178 years. This is a very old country. So, the more we do things the way we do now.
I don't want us to take it back. Mr. Jacob Jala and Oliver, George and Moses. Let's not take the issue, the problem back.
Yeah.
It has already happened behind. Let's see how we're going to, ensure that we have this economic, we can break this economic disparity. That everyone can have, access to wealth. Let's not look at, because some people will say, oh, this thing been happening way back. We're not talking way back now. So Oliver, we want to look at it from the current.
Yeah. What can we do now?
So the point I was trying to make is a country should do things practically to take its people from poverty. National poverty will obviously promote individual poverty. Now, Liberia, we say, is a rich country. We are rich in resources, everything. But look at the country that we have. Look at the infrastructure. Look around you. What do you see? You see a very poor country. You see a very poor infrastructure. You have no businesses. You have no companies coming to the country to empower young people to get money in their pockets. I live in the UAE, where I am. People don't focus government here. No.
We're hearing some feedback. Please mute your microphone. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Oliver. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, go ahead.
Yeah, wait.
Kindly unmute. Okay, so you're listening to the Nighttime Heat, right to the Pram FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed on Radio Gagema, that is in Nima County, Kwatika in Bonk, and Wolugisi in Lofa County. We are also streaming live on Pram FM Rover 105.5, and also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just go there where they have this section. You tap Nighttime Heat. As soon as you tap, you go to join the show, and then you share the show. Want to share the show, so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, and everyone who are connected to you can also be part of this program. Are you on now, Oliver?
So Sobert.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Moses coming.
Yeah, while waiting for Oliver, let me also contribute. Look, it is true the economy of Liberia is in the hand of foreigners. And there are a couple of reasons why. I'm not an economist. But take for example, Sobert, you and George and others live in Liberia. If a Liberian businessman go to any of the banking institution to secure a loan, most of the Liberian business owners are denied. Why? They do not have credit history. Our people have a history of taking loans, they don't pay back. And if you don't pay your loans back, the bank's not going to give you loan. Sometimes they're asking for collaterals. You don't have the collaterals. So the man who came from Lebanon with, say, $5 million in the bank, and the man goes to another bank asking for, say, $400,000. That man has collateral. They can easily do business with the man, as compared to you from Nukuta that don't even have $25,000 in the bank, even though you have the skills, but you do not have the collateral, you do not have the support. Another thing that is really stalling, that is undermining the growth of Liberian businesses or creating middle class among Liberians is that Sobert. The government will say, well, we are awarding a contract for the construction of a road. You have 20 companies, are putting in a bid. Maybe of those companies, you might have 5 Liberian companies. The guys who are reviewing the bids, the bidding process, those on our committee, you live in the country, you know it better than I do. They go in and tell the guys who are going through the process, all the various businesses, they tell you, say, hey, it is true that we're going to review all of the bids, but if you're going to get this contract, we need 10%. 10% of the money. If you do not have that 10% of the money to give them upfront, you will not win that bid. This is in the public domain. The problem of corruption, our political system is so corrupt. You guys live in the country. You know it better than I do. But corruption is eroding our ability to succeed.
So Moses, the issue now, yes. Moses, our problem is multifaceted. But the thing is, how do we ensure that there's this economic justice? We can break this disparity so that every Liberian can begin to enjoy the resources. Like you listen to the orator, he said a country with a lot of resources, yet the people poor. So how do we, as we speak now, there's this whole issue with some dues being entered to, like the LTM, and as a result, there are individuals who claim, like those from the Ministry of Transport, they are claiming that they may be out of job, they may not have opportunity to work anymore because of the bringing in or because of the new concession. So how do we put all these things, behind us? How do we know the coffin so that, Liberians begin to enjoy and benefit from the resources? Let me hear from you, Jacob.
Yes. Yeah, no, so quickly, I was in flight. Let me just wrap it up. The most effective answer to this question is inclusiveness. We need nationalists, where everyone will be given the opportunity to participate freely, and we have to learn to put Liberians first. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do business with foreigners. No, I'm not saying that. But if Liberians are part of the process, they have what it takes, we should give them the opportunity. But if people will begin to demand bribes, kickbacks, that makes it difficult for Liberian businesses to compete. That would be my
Okay.
thought.
Okay. Let's,
Sava,
before you come in, Jacob, let George
I
come in.
think the government needs to take the kind of radical economic reform agenda. You have to be straight about it. Sometimes not everything that is lawful that can work for the general good. Some of the laws on the book may be affecting the general growth of your economy, of your people. Some of the laws that we have, they are as good as they may look. Some of them may be against the growth of the private sector. I agree with Jacob. I mean, when he talked about some of those reforms that we need to take. I also agree with Mr. Sandy when he talked about corruption. It's true. Now, fronting for foreign businesses comes with certain reasons why these guys do it. It all bows down to the same corruption. But the government needs to have a direct liberalization policy that says this sector, these line of businesses are for Liberians, and the government needs to subsidize them. The only way those businesses will grow is for you to subsidize. And Liberians on their part need to learn to form what we call partnership. Most of our cooperatives, partnership. Most of our business people, our private businesses, they want to go alone, and you alone may not have the capital to acquire the kind of money that you want to do business. So you need to form cooperatives. You need to, especially in the agri sector, you need to form partnerships in the corporation areas, for you to see how you can be able to mobilize your resources to access finance to do business.
Okay.
So those things need to happen for me.
Okay. Yes, Jacob, let's hear from you quickly. And then we can go on. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think my colleagues have touched upon the issue, across the room. So yeah, I think we have to be, and Mr. Sandy raised some points about some of the challenges, right, in the business sector with Liberian entrepreneurs. That's true, but there are also great stories, we've recorded with Liberian entrepreneurs who have been doing great work in business despite the challenging, difficult environment, in terms of, lack of cheap credit, access to credit, even in terms of like the business sector and the business environment, and some of the disadvantages Liberian businesses continue to struggle against. Yes, so yeah, you talk about non-performing loans. Yes, at one point in time, our numbers have been up, but there were occasions in this country a few years back, Liberians were doing great, and our statistics were very good in terms of non-performing loans. So a number of things have happened with Ebola, with COVID, and all of that have kind of undermined loan repayment rates. But of course, as a country, we cannot run away from the issue. Like the orator said, he was right. At the soul, at the core of the Liberian economy has to be the idea of Liberian economic empowerment. So government, there also have been complaints around reform along the judiciary in terms of banks. Banks have been complaining, so look, we don't have issue with lending and improving credit in the private sector, but what is the framework for litigation? For example, if a particular client fails to pay, how do we go to court? What reforms in the commercial code need to happen? So the judiciary has to play a role in that. So we need the government to call on everybody, the judiciary, the banks, the commercial banks, LBDI, private business people. We need to call some kind of judicial conference or some kind of private sector meeting, to say what are the bottlenecks. Because if you look at the evidence now, commercial bank lending as a percentage of GDP to the private sector is at an all-time low. So commercial banks are not lending to the domestic private sector. Now, if they're not lending to the private sector, it means that the private sector, especially the domestic Liberian private sector, don't have the credit and the capital needed to invest in their business, to expand their businesses. Most of the credit right now, most of the lending right now with the commercial bank is for things like lending, letter of credit to petroleum importers, to rice importers. That's not the kind of lending that will grow the Liberian economy. We need lending to agriculture, we need lending to entrepreneurs and so forth. So that kind of reform needs to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oliver, yes, coming quickly.
Sorry, I want to look at something quickly. So as I was saying, developing Liberia is just very simple. You can put money in people's pocket by being practical and intentional about delivering the people from poverty. You know, it doesn't require too much theory. Honestly speaking, I live in the UAE, where I am. The country is very, very beautiful. What the guys did was they beautified the land God gave to them. That is infrastructure development. They took the money, they didn't put it in their personal pockets, and then they beautified this place. So because of the attraction, you have millions of people pulling in here with their own money to invest. So Liberia is so small. You have just 5 million people in the country. Just 5 million, 5.7 million people. Very small people. Small people. We shouldn't be poor at all. So for me, in order to close that gap and empower every Liberian, there are a few things that we need to do practically and intentionally. Number one, you need to improve your infrastructure. Let government build infrastructure. Face the road. Face everywhere. Create parks. Create places that people will go and say, yes, we are in a place that is safe. You know, promote infrastructure. That is one aspect that will attract people to your country, and then invest into your economy. The second thing you need to do in your country is to improve your security. Improve the security of the country. In this country, so you can walk anywhere, anytime, any hour. Nobody will tell you anything. You don't see people taking people's things here. Nobody put fear in people in this country. So for that reason, billionaires, feel so comfortable bringing that money here to invest. Okay. And the more you invest, the more they invest, the more people get jobs to do. Liberians are not too many to turn up from poverty, but we don't have programs. We have no programs. Then you also need to improve your judicial system. You know, you see dead bodies everywhere in the street in the morning, you wake up in the morning, see people dying this way, other people dying this way, people are going with impunities. How many investors do you expect?
Dead bodies are not all over the street in Liberia, that's not correct.
Yeah. You know, yeah. So then lastly, what I think we need to do in the country, apart from improving your security system, is to look at the various sectors, like education, like health, like agriculture. Here in the UAE, education alone from different countries in the UAE can employ more than 10 million people, my brother. Because they have the platform, they have the country, they are able to attract money to themselves. So this thing is not about bank giving you money. It's about improving your own infrastructure, your security, and then money will come to you. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Gentlemen, I think we spoke on that. Let's try to take the last tip quickly. It's on the reclaiming the education sector. Let's try to play this tip, and then we discuss. It all open the lines. We needed to talk about the LTM briefly before we can open the lines quickly.
Reclaim education for the good of the public. Education is the cornerstone of any society that seeks to move forward. No nation has ever risen above the quality of its education system. We must, as we have already begun to do, invest in every level of education. That means building more safe and accessible schools, paying and training teachers, modernizing our curriculum to include agriculture, technology, and entrepreneurship, prioritizing vocational and technical education so that every person who leaves school will have employable skills. Our educational system should be structured not only to pass exams, but should be built on character, sharpening the minds and preparing citizens to serve with integrity. We cannot build the future with broken chucks and unpaid teachers. For too long, We have watched our public schools deteriorate while private institutions become the only hope for quality learning. That must and already has begun to change. Every Liberian child deserved a safe classroom space, a teacher who is trained, and a curriculum that prepares them for the global stage. An educated citizenry is Liberia's most powerful defense against poverty, division, and corruption.
Okay, we listen to the national orator. Again, let me begin with you, Jacob. Your takeaway from how what he just said about how we can improve the education sector. What's your takeaway?
Yes, obviously, we need to improve the quality of education. And when most time we talk about education, we're not basically only talking about, like academic programs alone. We also need to improve quality in that area also. Our high schools, improving technology, libraries, and getting to improve our students' reading and mathematics skills in math and English. We need to do that, for quality teachers, but also education in the area of technical vocational training also. We have to be able to train, the next generation or the current generation of technicians, who will develop this country. My brother, we said just talk about, the UAE. I mean, I've gone there 1 or 2 times, and then you can see that the country foundation is based on technical skills, engineers, architects, infrastructures, people who can transform the country through the use of technical capacity, technicians, and the rest of it. A great deal of our population and young people need to be supported to go in these technical areas because they will serve as the backbone for the present and for the future. You look at MVTC, for example. I had the time to work at Ministry of Youth and Sports, trying to support the Memorial Vocational Training and Technical Center, Technical Training Institute there. The Chinese came in, a bit of great campus, BWI, and all the technical colleges across the country. We need to be able to invest resources in those institutions. Now, it's easier said than done. People could argue where is the resources to do the big investment we need to do. Maybe we need to find a very clever way to do it, invest in core centers of excellence and begin to expand that. But we need to be able to invest in technical schools as well as invest in academic programs.
Okay. Mr. Oliver Wisa, what's your takeaway from the national oration on education? Kindly unmute yourself, Mr. Wisa.
Yes, I was saying excellent. He said no nation has ever risen above the level of its education status. Liberia is seriously a case study when it comes to education and quality. When I was doing my master's here, there is something that that actually touched me. When we're going into educational technology, then I realized that my country was far away. So the quality of education of a nation will determine the kind of people you have. What do you produce? When I went to the UL in 2019, I applied for the master's program. Then I asked Dr. Poto, I said, do you have educational psychology program here? He told me we don't have that kind of thing here. The only thing we can do in this place here is educational administration to become DEO or something. I said, but what do we have a country that been here all the years? My brother, we need to have a whole university of education. A whole university of education. Just what you have in Ghana. In Winnipeg, they have University of Education in Ghana. Why? Because it is a whole field that addresses so many things. In that country, suburb, we need to have co-subject specialists. Co-subject specialists in order to produce our own textbooks. Because you realize that there is no alignment between the curriculum and the teaching in so many aspects in Liberia. And so when you have that kind of differences in the curriculum and the teaching methods, you realize that you produce different kinds of people because the pedagogical approaches you use are not in line with your very textbooks and your own philosophy as a country. So he was right. Then he talked about every Liberian child. No, quickly, let me learn on this one. He talked about every Liberian child has a right. That is inclusion. But Sobel, I can tell you for a fact that there is a minority, a silent minority of children in Liberia that have never been recognized in our education sector. And those children are the people with special education needs. Some of them in Liberia are suffering from autism, dyslexia, and so on. They are not being recognized in this country. I work in inclusion, and I see the importance of those kinds of people. They are in Liberia. They call it special education. So I do agree with him. The only way we can transform that country is when we look critically at education intentionally, and we have a whole university that will involve everything to train quality people, to just expand our entire education system. Even doctorate programs that we have in Liberia.
Okay, Mr. Wisa, thank you very much. You made your point. Gentlemen, during this speech, the national orator said that his 26 was on the president, and then he was asked as to what does he want. I want us to play that tape. Couple of things he said he wants the president to do. Yeah. So let's try to upload that tape quickly to play the tape on the 26 that he wants from the president. I don't know whether I received it or there's commitment to give him that 26. Yes, Moses.
Yes, so before listening to that segment of the oration, let me just contribute to the discussion on education. Look, so like the previous speaker said, we have a real challenge in Liberia when it comes to education. Take for example, you have the Monrovia Consolidated School System, the MCSS. The MCSS operates a number of public schools, Boswin, D2L, Tottenham, and the others. When Mr. Weah was president, during his leadership, the Liberian government allocated $4 million to MCSS. How do you operate an MCSS that has several schools to run, that hires several teachers, that has to maintain buildings, that need to keep 11 cities running with $4 million? In Booker's government, the Booker Washington Institute, a technical institution, when you look at the 2025 national budget, how much did the government allocate? Less than $2 million. You're talking about a technical institution with less than $2 million. How do you recruit and maintain qualified and competent teachers? How do you bring in equipment? And what I'm talking about, it is a pervasive problem. Everywhere you look in the country, institutions are underfunded. We do not have the money. We do not have the qualified teachers. People who graduate from these institutions are semi-illiterate. I can give you a couple of examples. And the three of us here, we are journalists. We have people in Liberia who walk in the streets of Liberia calling themselves graduates of the School of Mass Communication. They don't speak English. Someone will say, information information is a collective noun.
Okay, Moses.
So let me tell you, you have people who say they are lawyers, graduated from the Louis Arthur School of Law. They don't speak English. How can you be a law school graduate? You communicate with somebody, you don't speak English. What law school did you go to? We need to do better. We need to do better, John.
We need to do better, and that's the reason why the national orator stressed that, very, very strongly, that we don't need improvement, we need transformation of the sector. Let's try to play this segment, this tape quickly, and we can talk about it. That's the final tip for today, quickly.
My 26 is on you. What do I want? I'm glad you asked. Joseph Nima Boyka, a son of humble beginnings. Your leadership, marked by your humility, your character, and commitment, has offered a new tone to our politics. So I encourage you, sir, to lead boldly, to lead transparently, to lead justly, challenge the old order, empower the next generation, fire and don't suspend, enforce the laws, and surround yourself with people of competence and conscience. Who knows that, like Esther in the biblical narrative, that you have come to this royal position for such a time as this. Uncle Joe, tomorrow is not promised to you. A second term is not guaranteed.
Okay. Let's hear from you, Jacob, on this one. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, so fired, don't suspend. Yeah. So I think it depends on a case by case basis, really. In terms of what presidential action needs to be taken on a particular public official, if they be deemed to have betrayed the public trust, and it also depends on the strength of the evidence. So it's difficult for me to just maybe point, and that's why he spoke generally, and I think many people try to pin it down to some of the suspensions that have happened, and then the president is now already firing those people and suspending them now. I think the encouragement
do you think it's possible for the president to just fire right away without maybe trying to determine the cause, taking the person through the process of law, just firing the president? Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, again, it depends on the gravity of evidence available, for example, to the president, right? Now, there are certain cases where the presidency will still need an investigation. You still need to conduct a full-fledged, a more detailed, comprehensive investigation before probably taking administrative action like dismissing somebody, especially for reasons connected to maybe administrative malfunction. Now, the president does not, constitutionally, the president can say, look, I'm dismissing this person maybe because of performance, or the president does not even have to give any reason at all. Because most public officials or presidential appointees work at the will and pleasure of the president. However, when and if a situation is connected to a potential breach of public trust, then I think it's important to be fair to some people, to people who work in government offices or who public position. They will need, as a matter of fact, for their reputation to be protected or a full-scale investigation done before a presidential action. Because, you, Christopher George, or myself may possibly in the future have an opportunity to hold a public position. Now, will you want, the president to come and dismiss you for so-called act of betrayal of public trust or corruption without a full-scale investigation, without you having an opportunity to be heard? No, you don't want that. So we want the president to fight corruption, to fight theft and graft in public institutions, but we also want the rights of those who are accused to also be protected in the process. And I think the president has an obligation to travel that line.
Okay, Oliver, you listen to the national orator. He said he wants the president to be bold, to be transparent, to also bring around him people of competence and people who do have the ability to perform. Do you think he's trying to insinuate that the president is not transparently running the country? He's not boldly taking action. He's not bringing around him people of competence. You think he's trying to insinuate?
Well, Sabo, I don't think he's trying to insinuate anything here. I think he's trying to conscientize the president to do more, as he has already started doing. But for me, the issue of fighting corruption in Liberia is like joke, Every year we just sing music fighting corruption, fighting corruption, and nothing practical is done. I'm telling you. And that is why you have a 178-year-old country. It looks like something else, because people are not serious about fighting corruption. They just say things, make pronouncements, just clap just clap, and then go home while people are suffering. I don't know whether Todd Meha has been painted up till now, but you have few people in the country that have millions of dollars at the expense of the Liberian people. For me personally, I would have to say that President Boakai should not only suspend. How long will it take for you to investigate a report that was given to you by a credible institution like the LSCC? How long will that take? Let the people be detained. Let them be sent to jail for not less than 12 years, if possible. Let people know that corruption is the one eating up.
First. You can just grab them and put them to jail. They have to be guilty.
How long will it take?
Okay,
yes.
Let's show you that. Let's show you that. Moses, yes, let's show you that. Moses, do you think the national orator was trying to insinuate that President Boakai doesn't have people around him who are competent, that President Boakai is not running the country transparently, that President Boakai is not taking bold steps? Do you think it's an insinuation?
Well, Sober, I won't say that it is an insinuation that the president doesn't have qualified people, the president is not taking tough actions. But what the orator was saying that, hey, we appreciate what you are doing, but would like to encourage you to do more. And it is an open secret. You talk about incompetence. You look in the Boakai administration, there are a lot of incompetent people in government occupying prominent positions in the government. They don't have the skills. How did they get there? Tribal connection, political connection, no merit. Resume submitted, not saying on the basis of competence. Work history, no. Oh, yeah, the UP man. Oh, yeah, part of the coalition. You look around Liberia, you see all those people. So the orator was right on that. The president needs to correct that. Now, let me strike this balance here. Look, guys, when the orators ask the president to fire people in leadership position, when you suspend somebody indefinitely, or when you call for a probe, when the person is suspended, as a leader, you have an obligation to make the process speedy. You can keep the man in limbo. So if you got Moses Sandy suspended for 2-3 months and the report is before you, you got to act on that report. Mr. Sandy, we are able to find out that you did this, you did that, you are dismissed and turned over to the Ministry of Justice for prosecution. President Boakai has not been able to do this effectively. There are multiplicity of reports. He has called for several investigations. Out of those investigations, we are not seeing the outcomes. Those people remain what? Sitting at home, suspended. Take, for example, Zago. Zago was suspended. Zago went public. He said, say his suspension. The government is yet to tell him the reason why he was suspended. The government is yet to take a definitive position, even though he has been replaced. So if you're going to replace the man, Mr. President, you have an obligation to tell the man and the people of Liberia the reason why he was suspended and the reason why he was being replaced.
Okay.
This is where the character is coming from. The president has to be tough, man, and he's not taking no tough actions.
Okay, you think that he's dropping the ball?
Of course he is.
Okay, let's hear from Kennedy quickly.
As in my opinion, I think this entire thing is a whole system that needs to be improved.
Shortly we'll be opening the lines. Yeah.
First of all, people are suspended over the LACC that has prosecutorial powers. The legislature granted them. I think a few days ago, they indicted some people. I'm honest, I heard that some of them already left the country. Okay, I think
reportedly.
Reportedly.
Yeah, I mean, have the facts.
That's why I said we're hearing. We're hearing. So you see, some of these things. If someone, it's the same justice I was talking about, Mr. Jala talked about, before you just fire the person, it's better for you to investigate. And find out what really went wrong if you get information. Because you're the president, you're not looking there, you're not there. So when you hear something, before you take action, it's good for you to respect that person's right also. Why it's true that the law provides that you have the right to hire and fire, but you should also give that person the kind of respect and rights to be heard. So the LACC, as I said, need to be more forceful. The judicial system need to be robust. We got corruption cases in the court that is taking so long that the 12 case and those cases, once those cases stay too long, those cases lose the merit before the public. I think the court system should try to improve itself. They should have a reform that when they get a specific case, the case will take 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, and those cases should be adjudicated within those times. But people carry cases to court, those cases will sit there forever. I think those kind of things we need to reform it. Because even if the president is taking action and sending the people to court, the judiciary has its own procedure.
Now, gentlemen, let me throw this one quickly. When you hear the national orator saying that, Mr. President, you have to be bold, you have to be transparent, you have to include people who are competent around you. Do you think he's making reference only to the president or people who are supposed to help the president to perform? Let me hear from you, Jacob.
Well, it's hard. I think the government, to be honest, I think there are some great professionals in the government, in the administration. I mean, if you talk about, for example, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, absolutely no one can doubt her credibility, her credential, her expertise, in international development. The UN, Minister Gafuan, no one in this country, anywhere in the world can question his technical capacity, his leadership capability. This is a man who I have my disagreement with him. I shared that a few days ago in terms of the direction of travel of the economy. No matter that, he is a consummate professional, absolutely. He worked with the African Development Bank. So there are some great professionals within the government that are doing some good job. But I think I want to see the orator comment as more of an encouragement, or more of a push to continue to get better, rather than trying to pinpoint any specific degree of incompetence, because I don't think he was specific, because the saying always go, I don't care how sharp the knife is, it can still get sharper. So I think I want to see it as a call to continue to do better. Of course, definitely we do need to continue to improve capacity, to improve personnel in certain sectors of our public life, in government. For the fact that we are still struggling as a country in many respects, we still have a huge problem of youth unemployment. We still need to be able to expand the economy to create more jobs for more Liberians. We still need to deliver education. So for the fact that we haven't really we haven't been able to meet our objective in those sectors, means that we need to continue to improve personnel, improve capacity, and continue to push the country. So I think we need to continue to press the government to do well.
Okay, let's try to take a few calls quickly. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. That's the Lone Star line, 0886-540-987 or 0778-460-793. That's the number to call and you are live on the nighttime heat. Again, 0778-460-793 or better still, 0886-540-987. We want your participation. What do you think about the discussions we've been having tonight? Again, 0778-460-793 or better still, 0886-540-987. 0886-540-987. Let's take this first call on the line. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Uncle Sobo Josh.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, I want to say thanks so kindly to you and your very panelists on the show tonight for the splendid analysis from the orator. My take on the issue, on the discussion tonight is the economy and our education sector. For what the orator said about the economy, right now, Liberian economy is not really controlled by the Liberians. Even the Liberian businesses that here is not really controlled by Liberians, right? Because what the government always prefer the foreigners. They always prefer foreigners doing business with foreigners instead of them focusing on the Liberian businesses. Even for the president to even call the business cartel in Liberia to have meeting with them, there's no way. Then just take a look for our education sector. Right now, with the 2025 budget, the government uses 39% of the budget on public administration, while the education sector carries 13%. Why should that be? Why would the education sector boost? These are some of the things. So I think the government needs to look at that drawback, at least allocate 20% of the country budget to education. Okay. Then we'll see reasoning in our sector.
Okay.
Instead the way it is, there will be no reasoning, there will be no improvement in our education sector. Thanks so kindly for your show.
Many thanks. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Okay, the call went off. 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. Or again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call and to alive on the nighttime heat tonight. We want to get your take as well on what we've been talking about. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Let me take this caller from this end. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly. Okay, the caller went off. He said good evening, and then he went off. 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-540-987. We want to take a few calls quickly. 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-540-987. That's the numbers to call and to alive. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I got a message for the Liberian people.
Go ahead.
A very message. I've been sick for 1 week now. And last night it was very critical. Tried crying on my bed, fighting for life. And I finally gave up. But now I was on the line of the dead. My soul left me. I was on the line of the dead. There was a 3 line. 1 line for Jesus, the other line for Satan, and then the 3rd line was for the government of Liberia, which I saw everyone on there with different kinds of animal heads. Everyone dressed on allegory. I don't know, that kind of red cloth, mud, all our official on the CDC there and the UP and whatever, I don't know. And the voice spoke to me while I was on the dead line. Many people recognize me. Oh, Indra, you finally died too, you died. I said, yes, I died. I've been sick. No money for treatment. On my way, I approached to the huge fire. And then the 2 angels came and took me from there. He said, Angel, you have to go back. Go and tell the Liberian people why they are fooling me, why they are feeling fun out of me. You saw them going with different kinds of animal heads, blood, water, already on their skin. And they said, we should fast. We should fast. Are they joking with me? They are playing with blood every time. They are playing with blood. And they are enjoying celebrating tonight. When would they get a time to fast? Tell the Liberian people if they want their suffering to increase. And stop playing fun out of me and out of Since today it was 3 o'clock before I got a conscience, when my soul came back into my body. I tried connecting all the numbers, but I couldn't because I was so helpless. I couldn't dial any number. I called my little sister, assisting to the phone, the radio. Any number, yeah, you read it down quickly. Before I die, let me give the message. I really want to give it to all the stations, but I don't know any station number.
Okay.
My sister gave me this number.
Okay. All right.
Please connect me to the number. It was more. I just trying to move to sleep because I'm very, very sick now. No, please connect me. I have to say it because the Lord said the message was on my bed.
Okay, so that's the message there. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. We really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Really appreciate your time. Well, that's a message. We can overlook that. I mean, it's a message, But again, let's take a few calls. 0778460793. David Cote, I'm not going to read your text there. Send a text to somebody else. I'm not going to read your text. 0778460793. That's the number to call. Or better still, 0886-540-987. Again, 0886-540-987. That's the number to call. And you are live. Quickly, let's take a few calls. And we'll go back to our studio guests to wrap it up. 0778-460-793. Just 2 more calls. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0778-460-793. Let's take the caller. Good evening. Hello? Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. Let me say good evening to the rest of the panelists on the panel tonight. So this is Quill William Covey, and I joined this conversation from this city. Well, let me say thanks to all of you for the very effective points and the analysis from the orators in the July 26th celebration. But for me, I disagree with the orator when he said the president should stop suspending and dismiss immediately. The president cannot dismiss in the absence of investigation. The president will suspend and forward you. Like one of the panelists said, the AACC is come with the responsibility to prosecute, charge, and forward you to the court. So when the president suspends you, and forward you, I think the orator would have measured or put the LACC to the spotlight, tell them to do their work, so that the president cannot take actions against them, either by suspending them or removing them. Then the same orator could come and see the president removing people from pending offices, because the LACC is the tenure era, and the president does not want to take action against them like that before the president removing people from tenure offices. So, like education, like one of your panelists said, BWR 2 million. Yes, that is just a subsidy to BWR. BWR pays tuition. Do you know the tuition of BWR? I think that 2 million is only meant for the government to subsidize them. But BWR pays tuition, right?
Okay.
They pay over 30,000 students. And BWR is most populated, and I think they are the most populated vocational institution in the country. But I think next to them will be MVTC. So some of these institutions that you will see low budgetary allotment, government know why they will send low budgetary allotment to them, because some of them receive support from donors, right? The MVTC receives donor support. So mostly they receive the funding from US food. So this is why when government, for casting the budget, they will send no budgetary allotment to the institution, because they know they will have additional coming out. But all in all, we pray that the government will do more in education, that this government is prioritizing education. They have increased.
Okay, all right. Many thanks. Many thanks. Many thanks. Yeah, many thanks to make your point. Let's hear from our friends, and then quickly we can wrap it up. Jacob, let's hear from you.
Yes. Is this my parting comment or
Yes,
response to the caller?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. No, thanks. I think the callers, thanks for your contribution. Yeah, I mean, we talk about MVTC, we talk about investment in education, technical education. For me, I want to lay a lot more focus on that. Building technical skills, our electricians, our people who into electronics, people who into computer technology, masonry, construction, architects. For me, those fields are going to be very, very vital in the present and in the future. Since we're talking about reconstruction, we're talking about developing our roads, infrastructure, electricity. We're talking about seaport, airports. We're talking about agriculture. We're talking about training agronomists, people with skills to be able to go into the agriculture field and produce food for the country. And we as a country and the government has to play that role, has to be very, very intentional, has to be very deliberate in ways that will really mobilize this country for the next big push, because we have to be able to create jobs. That is the next big problem in this country. The huge levels of unemployment, youth unemployment, is creating a lot of frustration for many young people. People are talking about traveling, leaving the country, and there's a degree of hopelessness. The government has to really move the needle on that and begin to change that narrative. I mean, I know there are comments like we need to fix some level of constraint, we have to build roads, improve electricity, so that will lead to expanding the private sector. Government needs to do what it has to do, to be able to change that story for many young people and try to create livelihood and jobs for people.
Okay.
Again, thanks for
the opportunity. Okay. Oliver, Mr. Wisa, kindly unmute. Let's hear from you. Your response and parting comment.
Yeah, so let me say thank you firstly for the invite, and thanks to all of the guests and panelists, and thanks to those who made calls tonight. I think the program was just a good one. I just want to encourage the Liberian government and the Liberian people to remain resilient and have faith in God that the country will one day change. But if I were to recommend for developmental change in that country, to put money in people's pockets, it should be practical and intentional. We have to improve our tourism sector. We have to beautify the country. We have to improve security so that we attract more people coming to Liberia with billions of dollars and will make Liberians to be rich. Our education sector is paramount. We have to be also practical and intentional about it. We have to have a whole university dedicated to just education, and then pay teachers well so as to add value to education. Teaching is not for poor people, as it is always in Liberia. In the UAE, when you are a teacher, you are highly respected in this country. You can ask anybody who came here. So people are even going to teachers school here to be teachers, because teachers here, they are like kings. Thank you so much, Saba, for the invite.
Many thanks. Moses, let's just hear briefly from you, and then George, so can take our exit.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to our guests. I think it was indeed a great show. The analysis were good, and it was good that we're able to assemble, to take a critical look at what the orator said. Everything the orator said, I stand with the orator 100%. He was very objective. He spoke truth to power. Now, lastly, let me say this. There was a caller who said that at BWI, students pay $30,000 per semester. So if you do the math at, say, $190 for one US dollars, you're talking about less than $150 US dollars a month. So if you are paying 30,000, if you are talking about, per semester, if you pay 30,000 per semester in Liberian dollars, you are paying less than 150 US dollars. So now you tell me, someone paying 150 US dollars, what can that do for BWI? Are you going to hire, like my brother from the UAE said, are you going to hire someone with a technical training, education, extensive work experience as a teacher, and pay that person $1,000 a month? Does that make sense?
Okay, Moses, I
we
think
gotta be serious about education, my brother. Yes, thank you.
You made the point already. Okay, yeah, George, quickly.
Thank you. I think the show was good. I want to thank our guests, including my co-panelist, Mr. Sandy. We all did well, in my opinion. And I think the orator was very excellent in most of the things he said. I think his speech was a food for thought for us as a people and government. The government needs to take those things very serious and be practical with most of the things he said. We need to radically reform this country, this economy, to be able to accommodate the increasing youthful population. I think it would be necessary to ensure the security and safety of the country. It is good that we work as a team. It is good that we love our country. It is good that we love one another and try to work to push this country forward.
Many thanks. Before we go, let me try to just recognize a few of our viewers. Ophelia S. George says she's been watching from home. Moses Momolu from the USA been watching. Or Gawi didn't say from where. Salomana Sako didn't say from where. Amos G. Kali didn't say from where. Victor Balo didn't say from where. Ernest Johnson from Nimba Kali been watching. Alfred Soiree didn't say from where. Pastor Samuel Shan, he's been watching from home in Chickasaw Factory. Well, we started on the issue of the presidential proclamation, asking all Liberians to pray today from our homes or in our churches or in the mosque. It's good to pray, but the Bible says, if my people are called by my name, if they will humble themselves, if they will seek my face, if they will pray and turn from their wicked ways, then I will answer them and heal their land. It's one thing to pray and not a thing, for God to answer us. We can be praying and we still practicing political exclusion. We can be praying when we still practicing economic, strangulating other sector of the people. We can be praying when we still entering deals, concessions that are harming other people and having the potential to take jobs from other people. We can be praying when the lot we are still doing. When political leaders are not on speaking term, we can be praying. it's like we are just trying to waste our effort. Let's try as a country, as a people. When we pray, let's turn from our wicked ways so that God can answer our prayers. Well, we'll be back. That is on Friday for the weekend edition of the program. Until then, Saba George is my name. Have a pleasant time.